Okay, so here's a quick video on some of the greens I have growing in my yard, in my gardens. This one here is called water spinach, and it is a semi-aquatic plant, so I actually have it in a tray of water, and they grow very fast. Planted these seeds probably about 2 months ago, and it took a while to germinate and start up, but now they're growing very quickly, so I can actually harvest all these leaves and eat them. You can stir fry them. They're traditional Asian green. And it's very good actually. So there's one. Here's another aquatic plant. It's watercress, pretty common. I actually bought this, and it was probably about a quarter the size it is now, from a grocery store, and it was sold as living watercress. I think it was Whole Foods. So I just put it in some soil, and I actually have it right now in a container here, lined with sand and filled up with water, and it seems to really like being soaked in water. It does really well. Here's a couple lettuce plants and some collard greens. It's getting eaten up by some worms, but I'm trying to pick them off. So yeah, just regular lettuce and collard greens, nothing too crazy here. Okay, and here in this container I have a couple different greens. I have a kale, some lettuce, and some shiso. This is called Perilla mint or shiso. It's an Asian green. It's got kind of like a basil-y taste, and it's really good in salads. And you can cook it up in soups as well. It seems to be growing here in the shady area a lot better than the sunnier garden where I also have it growing. So this might be a little better in the summer. Well, it's actually only May right now, but when it gets hot, keep it in the shade. So in this last forested area that I have in my backyard, I planted some nettles, and I'm just letting these kind of just grow wild. You can see them, and they're actually growing really well here. The only thing I need to do is kind of pull back some of the other ivies and weeds around them to make sure they don't get crowded. And I actually have some more. Where are they? Yeah, right in there. They're popping out from the shrubs. So nettles, these are stinging nettles. They don't really seem to hurt me too much anymore, but if you pick them without gloves you can get poked, and it kind of feels like a really mild sting, like a bee sting or something. It goes away in a couple minutes, but they're actually really tasty. Most plants have defenses in their leaves that causes the bitter taste, but the the nettles don't seem to have much of a bitter taste at all. Instead, their protection comes from the little thorns you can see on the stem and on the leaves themselves. So these are great. They grow wild. They take over, so you got to put them in some place where you don't mind them being. But definitely a really good green to grow and eat.